What is going on, all you profitable stylists out there and all you future profitable stylists out there? We've got a very special guest with us today, Taylor from Onstage Hair Studio. Good morning, Taylor. How are you, buddy?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Doing good.
Taylor is going to do an interview with us, and we're going to find out what the journey has been like behind the chair on his road to a six-figure income. So, Taylor, you're newer to the industry, yeah?
Correct. Yeah. So I've been doing it for about 3 years now.
3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. Super cool. Now, is this your first job in the industry, or were you doing something else in the industry and you just came over here?
No. This is all the experience I have in the industry is this journey, these past 3 years. Before this, I was doing construction and working in warehouses. So,
oh, that's wild.
Yeah, very, very, very different workflow. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
How much of a culture shock has it been?
Big one. Yeah, for sure. You're usually working with some rougher guys, in those industries previous. And then to come into this where it's one, mainly women, and two, indoors and air conditioned and just a lot less strenuous, but a lot more drama. That's for sure. I'll say. Usually the guys at the warehouses and on the construction sites are, pretty just like, let's get this done and go home. And, it's a little extra in a salon.
They talk about builders having mouths, but women got dirtier mouths than men do sometimes. Yeah. The air conditioning is nice, though. I do like the air conditioning compared to working outside.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, did you have any preconceived notions about what the industry can do for you so far as financially or skill set or dress codes and things like that? Like, did you have any preconceived notions coming into it?
Well, so obviously Bernard is my stepdad, so I've grown up in a salon, so I've kind of always seen the industry, but more than an average person, but still from kind of the outside, right? And I kind of forgot where I was going with that. What was the question again? Hold on. A little early. Hold on.
It's still early, right?
Yeah.
Like, was there any particular, like, did you think, I'm going to make a lot of money. I can make a lot of money, or I will make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. So I kind of always saw the industry from the outside. So I kind of had little insider view on it, considering Bernard owned a salon. But no, I don't want to be mean, but I kind of thought that it would be a lot easier than it really is. That's the main thing. I just thought that I'd be a lot better at it immediately. Everything else that I've ever done as far as a career, I've been very good at pretty immediately. This took a lot of dedication and practice and time to even get decent at, to a point where I could actually make some sort of money, where I wasn't just washing hair for the other stylists.
Isn't it wild? Like, you watch people cut hair or color or put hair pieces on or hair extensions, and it just looks like they're goofing off, they're chatting, they're having a good time, and they're just popping it in.
You just pick the hair up, cut it. I couldn't even pick the hair up. That was one of the hardest things for me to do whenever I first started, was just parting and picking up hair. It's
wild, right? I got to make fun of you a little bit. How was your first foil experience?
My first foil, I was not good.
How many times did you almost quit? I heard you almost quit a couple of times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's been many. I mean, on this journey, there's been many points where I was like, this just might not be for me. I might just not be cut out for this. Like, I clearly don't have whatever it is these other people have. But no, I stuck with it though. And you get better with practice and over time and everything else. So it worked out.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So then let me ask you this way. What would you attribute? A lot of people come in, like you mentioned, thinking it would be easier than what it turned out to be, right? I fell into that trap myself too. My uncle and my aunt were hairdressers, so I've grown up in the industry. I've assisted. I've done all the things. I did shows and stuff. And then when I start working behind the chair properly, I was completely blown away. I messed up a lot in the beginning, and I've talked about that before on this channel here. So is it more skill set or is it more mindset? Like, where would you put the disconnect into the approach when you first started?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, they kind of both affect each other, really, because if you don't have the skills, it's kind of hard to just fake it till you make it, like a lot of people like to say to do in this industry. That's an incredibly hard thing to do, to sell somebody on a product or a service that you really aren't confident in, or don't even know how to do at all, right? Like,
Right.
you're taking people in your chair and they're asking for these things. Oh, I want like a dirty lived-in blonde. You're like, I know a basic highlight pattern, and that's what you're gonna get, and then try to convince them that that's what they wanted the whole time. But yeah,
Dirty blonde is trending. That's not trending. When did
no.
It just started trending this week. That's such a week ago.
Yeah, we're trying to stay ahead of the trends here. We're starting the trends here. Blended, lived-in blonde, no. Chunky, bold highlight. That's what you want. That's what's going to be in next week, and you're going to be ahead of the curve. So.
Yeah, right. You'll be the first one. When it hits, you'll be the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
So it's a little bit of both. It's a little, but if you have a good mindset, you can really convince people, you can really kind of, you can't fake it till you make it, in a way. But no, you need to have the basic skills. That's for sure. You need to have the basic skills down, and then have the confidence to keep pushing into that unknown, uncharted territory, and don't be afraid to make a few mistakes. I definitely have. And like you said, you definitely have.
Oh, and I continue to make mistakes. And we say, Bernard and I talk about this all the time. It is the best teacher, is to make a mistake, identify what happened, why it happened, and how it happened, and then be able to fix it. I was told this advice a long time ago, like about 25, almost 30 years ago. I was told this advice. A good hairdresser can get the client in their chair, perform the service, and send them out happy. A great hairdresser can mess up and then know how to fix it. That's the difference between being good and being great,
Yeah, I like that. Yep.
So it was true. Powerful advice given to me a long time ago. And it still stands true to today, that it aged beautifully. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me hit you with a statistic. It's said that what we do behind the chair, out of 100% measure, right? 10% of it is your actual skill. 90% of it is your mindset. How's that for a statistic? What do you think when you hear that?
I'm thinking about my time behind the chair, and I think I would say that that's pretty accurate. Yeah. I definitely. Yeah, I would say that that's very true.
It's just like a mind blow, right?
Yeah, it's very true. Like, I'm thinking of everything right now, because I'm like, because if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to take the risks. You're not going to make the mistakes. You're going to find a way to not do it. You're going to have another stylist maybe help you, or in a lot of cases, just do it for you. So yeah, having that right mindset to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna knock this out. I'm gonna work at this, and I'm gonna make my mistakes, or maybe, just maybe, you actually just kill it first try. That happens sometimes. Sometimes you take a risk and it works out and it pays off.
It's an interesting statistic, and it was mind-blowing to me the first time I heard it. And it was one of the most painful things to hear, because this is like an actual measured statistic, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going, all these decades, I've been improving and increasing my skill and trying to get good. And it's like, at the end of the day, none of that matters.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't matter? And it's like, because if you can't focus properly, if you can't communicate that properly with the client, if the client doesn't understand the ride that they're on with you, the journey that you're taking them to get them to what they want, you could be the best stylist in the freaking world, but it doesn't matter for nothing unless you can learn how to, communicate and have that relationship and hold that whole mindset with somebody. It is so insane. It's so insanely powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because, all right, before I say something, let me ask you this. All right, so you know where you started from and you knew you sucked. You realized you sucked really quickly because you thought it was going to be easier than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward right now. You're obviously better today than when you were a few years back when you started, right?
For sure.
So you've gotten good. But do you still But do you still need to get better? Do you still got to get good?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's still a lot of places where I can improve. I mean, my foiling has come a long way, but it could come a lot further too, So there's definitely a lot of skills that I'm still trying to pick up on. Still a lot, mainly in like the chemical service area. Sure. I will say my hair cutting, I'm pretty goated at. I'm not going to lie. There's nothing that really sits in my chair that I'm intimidated by at this point. I can just visualize, I can shape and sculpt essentially pretty much whatever sits in my chair. But the chemical services still get me. That's a little more nerve-wracking.
I got bad news for you. It always is going to be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So I'm realizing. Yeah.
All I can tell you after 30 years, it's still nerve-wracking, man. It's like what happens is you never get good enough. You're always getting better, but you never get good enough because things always change.
Yeah.
Ingredients change, chemistry changes, technology changes, people like we were just talking about, trends change all the time, right?
Yeah.
So you finally figure something out and you're like, yes, awesome. Yeah. And then the next person that sits in your chair, she's like, oh, I've been doing this. And it's the complete opposite of everything you just figured out. And you're like, what is this curveball? Like, why? Yeah. Why are you the way you are?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. As soon as I find myself getting more comfortable with chemical services, some client comes along to just shake that completely out and just, completely ruin that status quo. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm still, just as naive as ever with this stuff. I don't know.
And I hate to, like I said, I hate to tell you, it never ends.
Yeah.
It never ends. But that's kind of some of the fun. And that's where a lot of the creativity comes in. And just falling back again to, that's where that mindset and that communication and keeping that relationship with the client matters so much, right? Oh, yeah. And we see it a lot, especially in hair extensions. And Bernard and I talk about it a lot too, is too many times a client gets, everyone's like, oh, she got a bad hair extension job. Hair extensions are just bad, right? For her. And it's like, no, I don't agree with that. That's not true. She just got the wrong placement or the wrong kind of extensions, or it just the blend was wrong, like something missed.
Yeah,
it's not the hair extensions, it's somewhere in the service something happened.
Oh, for sure.
And so many of the time you come to find out, like you were just joking about earlier, the one pattern, like this is what you're getting. I don't care what you're telling me you want. That's not cool. This is what you want. This is what we're doing because this is what I know, right?
Yeah.
It's so wild. Is it just you personally are open-minded enough to identify and recognize that you need to keep an open mind? Or is that something that you had to learn? Or is that something that sometimes you have to remind yourself, like, I gotta force myself to do something that's nerve-wracking or maybe scary or something unknown?
Yeah, that's it. You have to have that mindset of like, be brave enough to go into uncharted territories sometimes, you feel your way through it. You gotta, clients want what they want. I mean, if something's very popular and you can't provide that service, they're going to find somebody who can provide that service. So, I mean, and there's not a YouTube video for every service out there to watch and figure out how to do. So sometimes you have to just kind of trial and error, bust out a mannequin head if you need to before the client comes in and figure it out, you know? So yeah, you definitely need to be brave.
Is there, you know, a lot of people hear you say that and hear us say that, and they're like, oh, it must be easy for you guys. You guys grew up in it. So is there any advice that you can think of off top of your head that you can give to somebody new coming in to say to them how they would go about being brave or keeping their mindset open?
I don't know. To new stylists, I usually just say, like, focus on your basics first. Like, get your basic stuff down and you're consistent with that. And then, I mean, it's like we've been saying, you just need to have that mindset of like, you're going to make mistakes at some point. So why not make it while you're trying to do something new and pushing yourself to the limit and, you know, figure out something new instead of, you know, I mean, like I said, you're always going to make a mistake. You're going to make a mistake even doing the basic stuff. Sometimes you forget, we're human. That's just how we operate. So, I mean, yeah, just don't be afraid to try something new and go for it, you know?
Have you heard of this expression, crawl, walk, run?
I've not heard it as an expression, but I know the words.
Or like the words to say, because you haven't heard it as a sayings, right?
Yeah.
It's basically what they talk about for the journey of children. You know, they learn to crawl first, and then they take their first steps, and then they're running, right? Mm-hmm. So I jokingly said this to Bernard. I say it backwards when I'm teaching a class, and especially when we have new students or new stylists. I'll say it backwards. I'll say run, walk, crawl. I'll say the expression completely backwards, and everybody always like corrects me, right? And I'm like, no, I'm saying it right. But what happens is you first start running right out the gate and you face plant. And it's not until you fail that first time really hard, that's when you realize, oh crap, I was really off my mark. Yeah. Let me slow it down a little bit, right? Yeah. So then you just start kind of walking and then you still face plant again. And you're like, okay, yeah, no, I'm really off my mark. I got a little closer, but I'm still off my mark. Maybe I should just crawl. Maybe I should actually learn what are the steps? Like, what are we supposed to do? You know?
Yeah.
And I love how you mentioned earlier, there isn't a YouTube for everything. There is a balance between hands-on learning or at least taking a class or a program rather than just expecting to learn something from a 5-minute quick video, right?
Yeah.
Where would you say that balance came in? Like, were you relying on YouTube videos at first, or?
Definitely. Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. Oh, I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah. YouTube videos were, yes, absolutely. Anything. If I knew that there was someone coming into my chair, I would text them, call them, ask them what exactly are you looking for? What are we going to be doing whenever you get here tomorrow? And then the night before, I'm watching every YouTube video there is. How to do a wolf cut. I don't know. What are we doing? What's this over direction thing? You know, like whatever. So lived in messy blonde, how to do that. I'm watching like 30 videos on that. And then, but what I've kind of come to realize over time is those videos are great and it is good. You should, like, honestly, I think any new stylist or even seasoned stylist, your social media should be filled with other creators that are also doing this stuff. And like, cause you get so many like tips and tricks from like, you just get like little pieces here and there from all of these videos. And it helps build like a better understanding of what it is we're actually doing. So like with haircutting in particular, that's how I got really good at haircutting. Yeah, at first I watched a lot of how do I cut a wolf cut? How do I do a shag? How do I do the butterfly cut and all that? And that really it's nice, it's good, and it definitely gets you through that client for that day and you deliver what they wanted. But ultimately over time, what it taught me is the fundamentals of haircutting and like what it actually means to, I mean, like how to actually cut hair and how to visualize every haircut, any haircut that comes into your chair. Somebody got chopped up at some random shop. I can still visualize a haircut and fix it. So even if you're not working with the perfect canvas, it teaches you more of the fundamentals by watching all of these videos. And yeah, you learn that haircut or whatever, but nobody's hair is exactly the same. You're not going to have a perfect mannequin to do this perfect butterfly. It's going to be way different with a real person in your chair. But watching all of these videos definitely helps you learn, like I said, the fundamentals of hair cutting or even like chemical services and stuff like that.
And then how much practice did you have to do after watching all those videos to have muscle memory?
I don't know if there's like, I don't know how to like quantify it really. It's more of just like the culmination of practicing every day, So it's pushing yourself every single day. Even if you have no clients, you practice on a mannequin for a few hours, 2, 3, 4 different haircuts, whatever it is, So it's hard to kind of quantify how much practice you need before you're going to reach a level where, you're finding, like you can visualize a haircut, you can just see a inspo pic and you're like, yeah, I know how to do that, So, but yeah, it's just everyday practice,
It's the perfect answer. When I was mentoring, when I was assisting, when I was first coming up, anytime we were in between clients, I thought I would get to sit down and just relax for a moment. My mentor used to yell at me across the salon, "Get over here. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
What? I was just going to sit. He goes, "Why? You got this mannequin to blow dry." I'm like, "I already blow dried it." It's like, "Then you need to go shampoo it."
Yeah.
What? I'm like, "Oh, okay." You go wash the mannequin, you bring it back, you set it on the stand, you're letting it drip dry, and then you try to go sit back down again. You're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, you have a mannequin to comb out and blow dry again. It's wet. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh God, oh my God." So it was always moving. It was always moving. So then in the beginning, when you were first getting your couple of clients, how did that start? Did you have to advertise that you're getting new clients? Did you have to advertise that you're new yourself? Like how did you transition from I'm just practicing on a mannequin head to now I get to start practicing on a real person?
Well, I guess like I don't know. It was not like a very seamless transition. It was just kind of like one day they were like, "All right, you're taking clients now," So we got you on the books. We put you on there. Your books are open. People can book with you. And I'm like, "Okay, here we go." So they kind of.
Did you think you were ready for it?
No. No. Definitely felt thrown
Did
to
you
the
ever
wolves.
thought you were going to be ready for it though?
No, there was many times where I was like I said, there was many times where I really thought I was like, this is just not for me. This might not be the job for me. I had such bad nerves whenever I first started. I would have like full on anxiety attacks in the back whenever a client would sit in my chair and I'd just be like pacing and breathing heavily and talking to the other side. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. They want a haircut. I can't cut hair. What are we doing? I don't know. But thank God for those other stylists too. Cause they really helped to, ease the tension and stuff and just knowing that they had my back. But as far as like transitioning, I definitely posted on all my social media, like, hey, I'm taking new clients. And I started off doing free services. So
You did.
come in, let me do a partial highlight, that big, nice, chunky partial highlight on you, you'll love it. So yeah, I started off with just doing free stuff. And then as I kind of built my confidence more than my clientele, really, because I was making a lot of mistakes. I don't know if I have very many of those first few clients that I took still coming to me, but as I built my confidence and everything, I felt more confident to actually charge some money and started making money from it.
Did you, when you started gaining confidence, did it just happen organically, or did you start setting yourself little mini goals? Like you want to achieve this by the end of the week or by the end of the month or by X time you want to achieve a certain goal.
Yeah, so especially with the free stuff, I know Bernard's probably talked about his free foil highlight program before on the show. I definitely tried to do that. I didn't stick to it like I probably should have. I didn't do the full thing, but definitely the goal was to do that program and start filling up my books with that. So that was kind of what I was doing at first. But yeah.
How were you tracking your progress? How then
Oh,
since you're
right.
such a rebel, how are you tracking how you're doing?
We had weekly meetings, so that was actually really nice. Whenever I first started, we had weekly meetings every. Well, shoot, we don't. I think it was every Tuesday morning, or no, it was Wednesday mornings. I'm sorry, every Wednesday morning we would have we'd have a meeting for about an hour from like 9 to 10, and where we would go over, how many clients we had for the past month, um, for the last week, and how many reschedules we had, and we kind of track to see like where we got them from. So if it was from a free foil highlight program, we'd track that and write that, and yeah, so that was kind of how we tracked our goals to begin with.
Were you too nervous about doing the service, or were you good at rebooking and following up and completing the service from start to finish?
I guess it kind of depend on how the service went.
You're
If
like,
it went
I'm
well,
asking you to come back.
yeah. If it went well, hell yeah. Let's yeah. Sorry. Let's let's reschedule. Get some products. Tip for sure.
Like, share,
Um,
subscribe, do all the
yeah,
things.
yeah. If it
You're
wasn't
in person
great,
with it.
hey, I understand if you don't want to rebook. It's kind of that. Now it's regardless. You're getting rebooked. I just put them on the books now. So that's how that goes.
Isn't that interesting from thinking back on that to where you're at now with stuff?
Oh yeah, it's night and day.
So
Night and
you know how they say like things I wish I knew sooner.
day. Mhm.
So now that you know what you know now, right? Should you have, even when the service went bad, should you have still rebooked them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I could have, because anytime I messed up significantly, or even like minor things, I was always quick to like you said, figure out what went wrong and why, and how do I fix that mistake? How do I make sure I never make that mistake again? And so with that mentality, absolutely rebook them. Rebook them for next week so you can fix that mistake. You're going to know by then exactly what to do. So get them back in. Let them know, like, hey, I know this didn't turn out the exact way that we wanted it to. Let me make it up to you. Come in next week for a free service. Let me fix it all for you. I got you. And then you might have like a client for life. They're like, wow, okay, this guy, he messed up, but I mean, he fixed it for free and it looks great now.
Yeah.
Why not rebook?
It's so vital. It's so vital. There is this weird mentality that if you mess up, you should just quit or be fired, or you should never do anything ever again. And
Yeah.
if that were really the case, this world would have ended 1,000 years ago.
Right. Right.
It's just, there is something to be said about being humble and saying, yeah, I goofed up, but I can make this right. I can make this better. I can fix it. And you're going to lose some clients. Some clients are just going to be like, no, I don't want to give you a second chance. And you're like, all right, well then, okay, I understand. Thank you
Yeah.
again. But the majority, and the ones, like you said, the ones that stick with you the longest are the ones that were kind of hard in the beginning. And you had to prove to them that you had their best intention in mind,
Absolutely.
and then you both grow together. So that's awesome. What about retail? How are you on believing retail is good and it works, or it helps, or it's necessary to maintain all the services that you're providing?
Well, retail, I mean, they definitely need to be using professional products to maintain especially for like chemical services and things like
Mhm.
that. Yeah, no, retail is very important. I'm not a salon owner, so I can't speak to like how important it is for a salon business. Retail. I imagine it's pretty important.
I mean, it only pays your paycheck, but don't worry about it. I guess you
Right,
don't like getting paid every other week or every week or something, you know?
right, yeah. But no, as a stylist and like you said, building that like client stylist relationship and like making sure that everybody looks good whenever they leave the salon. But if they can't replicate that look outside of the salon, the next time they wash their hair, if it looks like crap, then that's they're not gonna like that very much. They might even blame you. They're gonna be like, well, this guy didn't do a very good job. And it's like, well, no, you've been using Garnier Fructis and washed out all of your toner in one wash, or like whatever it is, and yeah, your hair is very dry now. Yeah, I can see why. So yeah, no, retail
Taylor,
is very important.
it smells so good.
It does smell so good though. It does actually smell fantastic, but there are plenty of professional brands that also smell fantastic. Kenra, and it's cheap.
I love when I get hit with it must be good. It smells good. It's like, no, no, no. I know I love my expressions, I struggle with the English language a lot. So I love my expressions. And it's like, if it's too good to be true, then it is. If it doesn't taste good, then it's healthy for you. So, just because it smells good, that can't be good for you.
Yeah.
I go like opposite of the expressions all the time. And I always have a laugh with the clientele. Uh, so yeah, so it's freaking hilarious. All
Yeah.
right. So then how to become a six-figure income stylist, you need to be producing approximately 48, let's just round up for simple math, $49 an hour if you're putting in 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, if you put in less days, then you got to produce a little bit more per
Yeah.
hour. And if you put in more days, then you produce a little less per hour. But on average, right, if you say 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, you just need to produce, 48 and some change. So round up 49 an hour, right?
Yeah.
How, I mean, that's really simple because even if you do one client an hour, you only need 8 clients a day.
Yeah.
And we talk about this a lot. To be fully booked, 100% full book, you only need 160 clients. You don't need 1,000 clients like we used to need before, hundreds and hundreds of clients. So looking at that and thinking about that and thinking about the progression of how slow you were in the beginning to how comfortable you are now with your timing, right? How reasonable is that goal to you as far as time wise or as far as price wise?
Oh, it's very reasonable now. Now, like you say, because of my timing, I have a lot more options. So
Mm.
before, because I was so slow, it was almost better to just focus on those big ticket kind of services like highlights, extensions, things that are already going to take a big chunk of time, but they pay top dollar for. Now I kind of have the option. I could fill my books with haircuts all day long. I can do men's haircuts, even a women's cut, 20, 30 minutes. So I could do two of those an hour. I'm charging about $35 a piece. We're at $70 an hour already.
You've met your goal.
Yeah, and that's not even that hard. That's kind of a low ball price even for a haircut in a lot of
It's a
places.
great example, though.
So,
No, I'm agree with
yeah,
you. It's a great example. And I love what you're saying about options, about having options, because you could fill up your day with big ticket services, or you could just take it easy one day and just do standard services.
yeah,
No, nothing is easy,
right,
but it's just your comfort level is
yeah,
is
oh,
what makes
absolutely,
things, easier, right? The So then, yeah, being able to dictate what you want to do. Have you found a particular type of service that you're having more fun doing?
oh, absolutely. Like I said, I like cutting hair. That's my strongest thing.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with cutting hair, so that's kind of what I lean into the most. Cutting and styling. Yeah.
So here's something wild. There's a particular hairdresser in my area. He is phenomenal at doing haircuts,
Hmm.
but he actually sucks at doing color and hair extensions.
Yeah.
It's really hilarious how bad he's bad. It's
Yeah.
really, really, really bad. But he's such a phenomenal hair cutter and styler that it just everything blends.
Hmm.
Everything completely blends and it
Yeah.
always looks good, right?
Yeah.
And then when the client complains and they're like, I think something's wrong with my hair. He's like, yeah, yeah, something is wrong with your hair. You need to come in. You wait too long. It's like, it's only been 4 weeks. Yeah, it's been a month. It's already been a month. You need to come
Get
in.
in here.
So he just knows that as long as he can keep cutting and styling, he can hide like all
That's
the
funny.
mistakes and
Yeah.
all the shortcomings that he has with the other services, right? And it just an example of showing how important it is to be able to cut, blend, and style. Because even if you're phenomenal at doing hair extensions or smoothing treatments or hair color or whatever, if you can't cut and style it nice,
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So then here is my question, and that's actually right on that segues right in to this comment. I didn't enjoy haircutting in the beginning. I was really gravitated more towards chemicals and hair extensions, like highlighting and treatments and stuff. I really love the chemistry aspect of it, and I nerded out really hard. And I couldn't stand blow dry and styling. I freaking hated it, right? And fast forward 30 years later, I still freaking hate blow drying. I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hilarious because I teach blow drying classes and styling classes.
Yeah.
But it's the thing I hate doing the absolute most,
Yeah.
you know? So I guess how you're mentioning that you're really good at cutting and that's your thing.
Hmm.
Did you just gravitate because you started liking it? You were good at it, or you got good at it?
I don't know if I am gravitating more towards that just because that's the thing that I happen to get really good at. It kind of, just naturally, it started just coming to me. I just started being able to visualize, like I keep saying, the haircut. I can just see it. I can see how the hair is falling, and I know where to pull it and cut it and everything else. Yeah, so I don't know if that's why I like cutting and styling now more, is just because I'm better at it than I am with my chemical services, or if I liked it more, and so that's why I got better at it. It's kind of hard to say now. I can't really tell.
So you think about it this way, and there's all different kinds of personalities,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some people are very dominant, some people are very intellectual, some people are very social, some people are very charismatic. They do things by feeling. You're a very cool guy, so maybe you're not as nerdy as I am. I'm not as cool as you. I'm way more nerdy. So we could still get to a creative goal. We can still create something fun for the client, but our approach is going to be very different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that could play into it a little bit as well?
Yeah, probably.
So you just called me a nerd, Taylor.
Yeah. look. You said it first. I'm just agreeing with you. I don't know. But yeah, that could definitely be it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, people's personalities definitely play into the type of stylist and what they're gonna lean into, for sure. There's different personalities, more artistic, more, like you said, analytical or intellectual about things. You probably, you kind of get super into the chemical aspect of it. So, whereas somebody more creative is just like, I just want to see what happens. I'm going to go off a feel. And that's kind of where I'm at, honestly, which is, it's funny. Yeah. Some haircuts will, if I've never done the haircut before, I could take about 45 minutes on that cut, maybe even an hour, because I'm kind of just playing with the hair and picking it up and cutting and seeing how it falls and kind of just sculpting at a certain point, just kind of going off of like well, I want to build weight here, so let me do this. And then, oh, well, I kind of want that to flow a little easier. Let me do this. So, yeah.
That's when you're in the zone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
when you're
that is
really,
really,
really in the zone, you know?
yeah.
All you hear is music. You don't really, you hear talking, but it's like, wah, 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 wah. You don't
Uh-huh.
really hear what the person's saying, right?
Yeah, do the
And the
smile
hair is just
mouth.
talking to you. Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's a great, great feeling.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a little fun. And if this gets too personal, then we'll just skip it, right?
Okay.
Can you think of something that was really awkward, like an interaction with a client or during a service that you were trying to figure something out and it got really, really awkward, and then it turned into a really good lesson, or it ended on a way better high than you thought it was, that you thought it was going to go?
I can't think of any like one in particular, but there was many awkward moments whenever I first started. So many awkward moments. Like I said, I was so nervous and I felt like I had zero skills. Like I just wasn't confident in doing anything that wasn't, I mean, a basic men's cut, essentially. Um, so there were a lot of awkward moments of me combing the hair 3,000 times in all different directions.
You were combing the hair a lot in the beginning.
Yeah,
You were.
Oh, you pick this up to comb. Look, I was like pretending to do stuff so that it didn't seem like I was just standing there not cutting the hair or doing anything. That actually helped me though get really good at making conversation with my clients. Though you start distracting with conversation, you start talking, make them laugh or something. But yeah, so a lot of awkward situations, a lot of I gotta go grab something from the back real quick. Give me just 1 second, and then like giving one of my other fellow stylists like death glare, like like help, please. I'm having another panic attack. I need help, and go back there. We'd kind of game plan for a second, and with those advice and tips, I'd go out there and make something happen.
So then at some point things started to click.
Oh, for sure.
You've gotten good. You're starting to get good, right? When was that feeling? Like when was that instance, or can you remember or think of a time when you're like, oh my God, it's starting to make sense finally, and now it's exciting feeling?
Again, it's hard to pick out like one in particular time. It was kind of like a gradual thing, and it definitely, I will say, the main thing, like it wasn't really getting my skills better. It really was the mindset. It really was that whenever I finally like just told myself like, this is gonna sound kind of bad, but I kind of just told myself it doesn't matter. Like get out there and do your absolute best, and whatever happens, that's what happened. It's not the end of the world. You're not like destroying people's lives. It's okay. You can make a mistake. If somebody, if somebody hates you afterwards, well, they have to hold that. You don't have to. So, yeah, it started with that just fixing that mindset of like, just stop being so worried about it. Just go out there and do your best, and that'll be enough. And at the very least, you'll learn something along the way.
It's so true. You just reminded me of something. So when you were saying that, and you're like, it's not like you're going to ruin someone's lives, and I'm like, yeah, you will. Something depends on the person, So
Yeah.
you just reminded me of something. So this took me a long time to figure it out. I made my opportunities. I was not fortunate. I really made my opportunities. I clawed tooth and nail for every single opportunity I can get. And I surrounded myself purposely with coworkers, with mentors, with coaches. And to this day, I still go take classes. I still go learn. I still go try things out myself, even though I'm at a pretty high level of teaching other people how to do things, right? So, and since you were just saying that, and since you were mentioning earlier too, like you would go in the back and you'd be given, your other fellow stylists there, like, I need help me. How much of a difference does it make to know that you have that support network where you can go afterwards and learn with somebody, or you can get somebody to help you in the moment when you're knee deep in it or neck deep in it and you're drowning?
All the difference in the world. Having having well, at least for me, in my experience, I had a full salon full of very seasoned stylists, and that really was so empowering because I felt like I could take on more than I really knew how to do, bite off a little more than I could chew, because I had those guys to kind of help me out, and they kind of have a vested interest in it too, because they don't want me to do bad work either. They want to see they want me to succeed. We're all working in the same salon where it gets around. You don't want so
Yeah.
yeah, but no, they were also just very nice girls. So they were all very eager to step in where they could and help me out whenever I needed it. So that helped out a lot. It helped my confidence a lot. Without them, I don't know where I'd be really at this point. If I didn't have that kind of team behind me, that it would have been rough getting through and fixing that mindset. A lot of fixing my mindset was due to them and the things that they would tell me. They were the ones being like, "You gotta just have more confidence. You gotta just go do it." Because I'd be like, "They want this haircut. I can't. I've never done that haircut." And they're like, "Yeah, you're never gonna do that haircut until you do it. So
Until you go do it, right?
go try it. Go try, and we'll be right there, and we'll help you through it, or whatever we need to do. We'll make it work. But you gotta go start cutting the hair.
There's a lot of independent stylists, there's a lot of studio owners, and they don't have a network. And that's one of the things that us at the Profitable Stylist Academy, Bernard, me at HTB Beauty, we literally become the lifeline for some of these individual stylists. They don't have that team. They don't have that network like you have, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where they start leaning on us. And it's been a wild ride. And it feels really good to be able to be that person that they trust to help them and be their lifeline, if you will. Yeah. So that's awesome, and it's good. It's really, really good. And you're right. Everybody does have a vested interest. The better the industry does, the better everybody does alongside.
Oh, for sure.
I don't like hearing that the salon across the street went out of business or the salon down the street went out of business.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling for anybody. Yeah. It really sucks, Yeah. It's it was really profound. You reminded me of something that I knew, I've learned, but you're in your head all day long, so you tend to let some things slip. So then, what's next? What are you going to be getting good at next? Like, what is your upcoming goals? Do you have plans set? Like, you've gotten to this point now, but I need to get to this next level.
Yes. So right now, we're in that color college.
Color college.
Yes. So focusing on my chemical services, especially with bleach and toning, that's my main focus right now, is how can I improve those services. I'm very confident, like I said, in my cutting and styling, on point, whatever you want, gotcha. But the chemicals, I want to be at that same level. I want whatever to be able to come sit down in my chair, and I feel like, yes, I have the skills. I already have the confidence. I will take on anything right now. It's just going to be a messier process right now. So hopefully I can refine all that down, and it'll be a more enjoyable service for my client and for me, a little less stress.
I got you. This is an exercise that I do with a lot of stylists such as yourselves when you're at this point now, right? Because I got to give you the compliment. The way you're talking, you would never know that you're only 3 years in. The things you're saying, your mindset, your attitude, your jokes, your laughs, your failures, your successes, There is no difference in what you are saying now, 3 years in versus 30 years in. It's wild. It's really, really wild. Like, and that's the fun of the industry. Every day, every person who sits in your chair each and every time, you never know what's about to happen. It's really, really wild, right?
Yeah.
So I want to give you that advice that just remember this feeling today and now, and just keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
And you will continually get better, and keep setting goals for yourself, and keep that hunger that you want to get better. You always want to get good. You know, you'll never be good enough, but you'll always have that hunger to get better.
Oh, for sure.
If the day ever comes that you're like, oh yeah, I'm good enough now, just hang up your hat. That means you're burnt out, you're checked out, you lost your hunger, right? You lost your drive. So then, okay, now when you meet somebody for the first time, you know, like an elevator pitch. Do you know what an elevator pitch is?
Yes, yeah, like a quick 5-minute, short and sweet pitch. Yeah.
Right. So do you have one? Have you practiced one?
No. For why? What am I pitching here? I don't know. Myself.
You're at the store, you're at the grocery, you're at a party, you're at a meeting, you're at church, you're at a bar, wherever you are, right? And you meet somebody for the first time, and they're like, "Hey, who are you?" You're like, "I'm Taylor. What's up?" Or they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" You're like, "I'm Taylor. I work at a salon. What's up?" Like, do you know? Like, what is your pitch? Have you practiced one?
No, I haven't practiced one. I'm more of an off the cuff kind of guy. Kind of feel the situation and the person out, I suppose. I don't know. I've not practiced how to introduce myself. I don't know.
Do you want to play? Do you want to do one real quick?
Sure. We could practice something. Let's do it.
Okay. So before we practice, right? Do you know who you are?
Yes, I'm familiar with who I am. Yes.
A lot of people forget their name. A lot of them. So you know who you are. You know what your name is.
Yes.
You know what your title is.
Yes.
You know where you work.
Yes.
And you're excited about what you do.
I am.
Okay, those are all the aspects that you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just got to come from the feels. You know, you got to have the feels, right? And you just got to let it out. So give me 10-second pitch. I'm meeting you for the first time. You know, hi, I'm Eddie. You're introducing yourself. You know, what do you do?
Hey, Eddie, I'm Taylor. I actually work at Onstage Hair Studio. I'm a hairstylist, but I kind of specialize in hair replacement and like non-surgical hair replacement and hair extensions. I don't know where to go from there.
Right. Okay, so no, that's a fantastic, it's a very powerful, strong start, right? But now you got to bring it home. So you've just given this person all this information and you've got them all excited, but you didn't ask me out. So like, now I know this information about you. Okay, good. Now what? Do you take new clients? Are you currently, taking appointments? How do I make an appointment with you? How do I get a hold of you? How do I know more about you? How do I find out?
Yeah.
You've just told me that this is what you are. This is who you are, where you are, and what you do. And this is what you're excited about doing. So now how can you help the person bring it home, right? So let's do one more. Start it again, do it again. But just remember, like, you've thrown the line out there. Now you got to reel them in.
Right.
There?
Okay. Let me think about it.
Go for it when you're ready.
Yeah. How do I reel them in?
So, do you book appointments, or do people call to book appointments, or how do you schedule somebody usually?
Yeah. So we use Vagaro, and so you can book online, you can book through Google, and you can also call the salon and book that way as well. Or honestly, in this scenario, I usually I would give them my business card, which has my personal number on there, so they can text me whenever, or hopefully right then and there. to make an appointment, because I can also make appointments on my phone right then and there.
So that's how you close them out.
So that's how, yeah, I guess that's how I would close them out. Hey, I'm Taylor. I work at Onstage Hair Studio as a hairstylist, focused on men's hair replacement, non-surgical hair replacement, and hair extensions, but also do full services, full chemical services. When can I get you in? I don't know. I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah. Here's my card. Here's my contact info.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Let me know if I can ever do anything for you. I don't know.
It's the hardest. It's an awkward engagement. It's really, and it's even more awkward because you're talking to me and we're practicing it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But you got to look in the mirror. You got to do that practicing. It's got to feel natural at first. Otherwise, it's a difference of versus, you're talking and you're comfortable and you know what you're saying. So
communicating clear ideas, getting them to book right then. Yeah. Right
then. It's how you grow. It's how you build.
Yep.
And it is one of the scariest things to do. It's one of the hardest things to do.
And whenever I first started, especially with that free foil highlight program, Bernard would have us go to Walmart very frequently. And we did have like a practiced spiel that we would give before we would offer the free foil highlights. And so it would kind of go something like, hey, my name's Taylor. I'm actually a new hairstylist over at Onstage Hair Studio. I noticed your hair and I was just wondering, if I offered you a free salon service, would you take it? They kind of be like, yeah, or maybe like, no, I don't really know. We'll be like, oh, okay, well, like if you're ever interested, you should come by and I'm offering free salons, free partial highlights because I'm a new stylist and I'm trying to grow my business. Is that something that you'd be interested in? And be like, oh, maybe, yeah, okay, well, let's book you an appointment. Let's get you in next week. And you can come in. It's completely free. No strings attached. I need the practice. You look like good advertisement, and so, it's a win-win. And that was kind of like our little spiel that we would give them.
Sure. Yeah. One of the things I'd always say is I walk up to a lady and I'd say, look, I really love the way your hair looks. I'm a hairstylist myself, and I was just admiring your hair, and I was wondering who does your hair. I would love the opportunity to get my hands in it. If you're ever interested and you just want to get a blow dry and you can't get in with your regular stylist, I would love the chance to have you book a blow dry style with me. And then I just love to get my hands in your hair. It looks fantastic. I just shower them with compliments, right?
Yeah.
And then I try to give them a no strings attached, no pressure.
Yeah, no commitment.
Thing. Yeah, no commitment. And I would just start off with a blow dry because then they don't feel like they're cheating. They don't feel like weird. They don't feel like anything, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just telling them that it's just their hair. I'm in love with their hair, with how it looks. And it's so funny because they would come, a lot of them would actually take me up on that. And I again hate blow drying hair.
Yeah.
So then I do the blow dry and we get into chatting and talking, and I give them more of my spiel, and some of them would switch over, some of them wouldn't.
That's a really good idea. Start it off with a compliment, shower them with compliments. They might just come to you just because they want more compliments. A lot of people come to the salon. I have clients that come to the salon like every week, I think, just to hang out and talk, and just because they just enjoy the company and they like the conversation. So you start off showering them with compliments. They might come to see you just for more of that,
What we do is only 10% skill. It's 90% relationship. It's 90% mindset. So that's awesome. All right. That's our time, buddy.
Really? That was it? That's right. That went quick. Okay.
You want to do a closing statement for everybody? You want to take us out?
Closing statement. Well, thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Bernard, if you're watching, for not letting me know that this was happening. But no, I'm glad y'all had me on. That was a lot of fun. I hope this helps any new stylists that are looking and feeling very nervous about getting into the industry, or people who are in the industry and feel like, oh man, I don't know if this is for me, I'm like not good. I wasn't either. I was terrible. And you just got to stick with it. You need to fix your mindset. You need to just be confident, make mistakes. Everybody's made plenty of them. So don't feel bad if you know.
Aw, Vinci says Bernard is watching you right now.
Oh, nice.
You're going to do a hi, Mom?
Yeah, hi,
Mom. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching as well. To everybody else that's not family, if you like what Taylor said, give him a thumbs up, man. He really, really deserves it. Watching his journey grow has been absolutely amazing. So you guys should continue to follow him by subscribing so you guys can watch his journey grow alongside all of us as well. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you next week.